Okay, can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us? Let me turn this up. How about now? Can y'all hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Is the volume down make any difference?
No sound. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, they can hear us. Okay, okay.
I'm gonna turn off some of these lights because we're backlit.
Yeah. All right. So
Plan B.
Plan B.
We're gonna continue with these. This is a
Turn up
corral.
the light.
I think that's okay, huh? The light was behind us, not in front of us.
Okay. Okay.
Should I just scoot the light around? Okay. I think they can see that. This is a corral. We call that a corral out in the woods. So it's self-explanatory.
We had to switch to the phone.
Yeah, the prey is herded into those areas. It's part of a hunting system for the predator Bigfoots. Tree breaks where they're snapped off for no good reason. And then there's also a twist. Sometimes a pull down will be twisted as it's pulled down. You don't see them as often as the pull downs, but pay attention to them. Another sign of predator Bigfoots. These are all the things we're going to look for in this video that we'll watch. This is what we mean when we say a pull down. A pull down is a first step in creating a blind. The predators and the Bigfoots and the hybrids, they may just need the one branch to break up their silhouette and to make them easy to hide behind, to ambush prey. But over time, it may be hundreds of branches woven in, tucked in, but it always starts with a pull down. We want you to always watch for fat trees, watch in the background. The predator Bigfoots will peek around on either side, or they use the trunks as part of hiding their silhouette. You also want to pay attention in your yards for those kind of things. Get used to what size your trees should be. When we talk about a structure, we're talking about poles that are leaned up against each other, branches and things like that, that just look unnatural in the forest. For the most part, everything in the forest should be just directly vertical. Everything grows up. When you see a bunch of leaning trees and things like that, pay attention to that. Just another way that they'll hide in a little cluster of trees. These are all illustrations that'll be in, we're working on 2 books at the moment, but this is a smaller book, heavy on the illustrations, short on the words. Just another example of how easy they can blend into the trees, especially when it starts getting dark. The most dangerous times are dusk and dawn and in the middle of the night. And when they're standing at a tree in the shadows, even in daylight in the shadows, you can't, it's very difficult to see them. You want to train your eyes to do that. That's in the book. They do use weapons and tools, but they're made out of natural things in the forest. So you're going to pass right by them if you don't know what you're looking for. You want to look for branches that don't match the tree variety that's there. If you've got a bunch of branches down that are cedar, but then you see some oak woven in, pay attention to that, because they will move things around. Even if it's cut off limbs or yard debris and things like that, if you don't get rid of it, chop it up, mulch it, burn it, get it out of there, because they will reuse it. They'll bring in or break off what they need, or they'll use what you leave laying around. When we talk about drop-in pops, these are these will be sharpened bones, stones, sticks, just things that they'll put behind the tires or on the far side of logs, kind of like the land spikes. But so that in the case of a tire, because your car is always going to be an ambush spot, they might put it behind your tire where you'll back out of it. or I mean, as you back out, you'll drive over it, or they'll put it on the far side of another stone that you might drive over, but then you go down and pop on top of it. We've seen that happen. They're very cunning. Those are the things we'll be looking for. We're going to be using our little pointers, our little window blind rods. These are our pointers so that we don't have to stick our fingers up on the TV. And if we want you to look at a certain area, we may not say something, but we want you to be looking for the bows and the blinds and the breaks. Let me go ahead and show those other two because we had to switch the stream. This is what we mean by land spike, sharpened roots. They're along the same lines as the dropping pops, but much bigger. If some roots will naturally get sharp over time, but some, if you look very carefully at them, they've been picked to make them even sharper. And this is what we mean when we say a bow or an arch, not a natural occurrence. Okay. So.
All right, we're going to turn this
Bernard,
around.
we saw you entered the room. Glad you're here.
Tracker B is here.
Tracker B, hey.
Someone else.
Jim from Life's Adventures is here.
Diesel from New Jersey is
here. Hey, Diesel.
Miriam Bustos. Everybody's back. Joyce.
Thank you for joining us on this stream.
Good. 1980. All right. Everyone else should be over here in just a minute. We had to take that stream down. Either we had too many going on or something was acting up and we got shut down. So we're going to try this again. Everybody knows the ground rules, and that's what we're going to start with. And monitors, do your thing.
Oh, and just watch the language. We don't want any cussing on here.
Yeah.
So if you got timed out, Jonathan, that's why. Just
yeah.
for the cussing. So just hang in there, stay in there. Just careful of the language. We have children watching and people who just that's it. Just be careful of the language.
And we're not that kind of channel.
Let's see what else. So tonight's purpose is to watch this video, not to pick on anybody, but just to point out mistakes that we see that are made along the way that could have been prevented. And the title of this one caught our attention. We watched a very little bit of it towards the tail end. We're going to watch the rest with you and see how they got themselves into that situation. So we're ready. Will it let us switch?
Yeah, John says, sorry guys, just little pigs with big ears on my case. M15 heavy, I'm good. Yeah, we got a couple of rules. We
just try to be careful. Yeah.
We got rules that the monitors, we ask the monitors if they see this to time them out or kick them out.
And even the monitor did, even the monitor that did, he's had to go by those rules himself too.
Yeah, so everybody understands. All right, we're going to turn this around and we're going to see what we can do with this because we're just using the phone. So give us a second. Okay.
Would it help if I turn off the overhead light?
Maybe. Let's see if we can. And of course, it's just started over. So bear with us another second. I know we didn't do any.
This is our first time doing this, so we're going to have some kinks to work out. But StreamYard wasn't cooperating tonight.
Yeah, StreamYard was awful.
See if our pointer, our pointer shows up.
So
for your
it looks like a decent decent look here, so let's get to it. Give us just a second. We got to get through all this.
Oh, and all these videos that we'll be doing this, we'll try to do it every Wednesday as much as we can. These are all fair use that we're using these for educational purposes only.
Okay, let's listen to what this guy's doing, and we'll stop, and then we'll do some teaching.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Just all this stuff. Let us know if you can hear that decent enough.
Hey, Judy.
Broken Straw State Park, New York. The hike did not go as planned, along with an unknown encounter. I don't know if you can read that, so we're reading a little bit for you.
Those leaners would be something to pay attention to, those trees.
Yeah, that's a blind right there. Just take it slow. Right there.
There's another campsite right here. Wow, they've got a lot of campsites in here. Very, very cool. Boy, it'd be
There's
quiet
blind,
spending the night out here.
right there by the campsite.
Hey guys, we're just driving right now through the state forest because according to the map on my All Trails map app, it shows that there is a trailhead that runs off of this main conservation road. And there's a lot of free camp.
And we don't know who this guy is. EK Acres, looks like. Got quite a few
Acres, yeah.
Views, 217,000. Hike gone wrong and very scary encounter.
Sites in here, and it would be very, very quiet spending the night in here. So it's a smaller state forest, but it sure is beautiful.
Got some bridges.
This is like hiking in the car.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's like. It gives you an idea, though, of the terrain and the lay of the land. You know, as far as the elevation changes and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
tree
bow.
walker.
And what type of trees are growing in this forest.
Leaners.
Pull down.
Pull down.
Man, I'm really surprised we have not seen a bear.
Another structure.
Because we've been really going out to the middle of nowhere.
He's going to the middle of nowhere. Don't know where he's going, sounds like.
He hasn't really made a good plan.
Not like our trackers would do.
There's another campsite right there.
With the blind right next to it.
That's a trap set. Campsite. Trap site. Trap site. Not a campsite.
So far, I've not seen a trailhead. Now, this state forest is just to the south of Panama State Forest. The two of them butt up against one another. This one is the southern state forest.
Middle of nowhere.
And there's no information that I can find on either Panama State Forest or Broken Straw State.
The reason for that may be that there's a lot of activity in there, and they're not what state parks usually want to advertise and push people to come visit the parks because that's revenue. If they're not doing that, there may be some problems there, and they're not trying to get people up in there right then, but they're going to be hush hush about it.
And this guy cannot find any information on this, and yet he's going.
Forest, and we are in Broken Straw State Forest. I can't find any information. There's no reviews, no photos. They do have a trail in here, but no one's reviewed it. No one has uploaded photos or nothing, so there's no information that I can find about this place whatsoever, not even on All Trails. They have no information of either of these state forests. And that's why I wanted to come here today, because I would want to be the first to review the trail and be the first to upload photos.
Truth Walker says, hey, Judy. Okay. Tracker Learner says, seen this last week. A lot of no-nos. Yeah, he's already into the no-no zone, I guess you would say.
So if other people wanted to come in here and hike, they would have my review to read and photos to look at. There is kind of a swampy, large lake
Big blind.
here.
Water areas, it's in the book. The prey's always going to go to the water, so that's where the predators are going to go. There's a huge blind over there.
That's
It
where they're
doesn't-
going to be watching.
It doesn't even matter if it's natural fall, it will be manipulated. They're going to use it. So you would want to be very careful around something like that. You don't want to pitch your tent in this area.
Yeah.
And this is a remote campsite right here. On the map, it says that you're allowed to camp here. And there is a camping symbol that says camp here. So we will be able to come here with the van.
And there she is with her cute little prey right there. She's carrying the bait and doesn't even know it.
Yeah, there's bait. This also, these are setups. A lot of these isolated areas are setting up right across from the water zone, right across from the blind over here, blind in the corner.
Watch our video, Set Up Pond.
Now that I know where this is, back in here, get a fire going and camp. Right across from this.
No,
On the far side is
That'd
some
be
more
very
blinds.
cool.
even got a dark spot here they'd have to watch out
Wonder
for.
what kind of noises you'd hear here at night. It's just an environmental conservation road. The DEC.
Big blind to watch this area, this fishing area, whatever.
The
They can also-
conservation areas always have more going on than they tell you.
Panama, New York. We are just north of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania. And there's a reason why they name it Bear Lake, and it's not too far that way. And if there was ever a place to have a sighting, you guys,
He is correct about that.
He is correct. All blinds, trees uprooted right here.
You want to be real
Perfect
careful about
spot.
that area.
this would be it. And I know I say that a lot, but it's true. And so in my van, I got fishing poles to use, poppers in here, surface plugs. And I bet there are some huge largemouth and smallmouth bass in here. So I am definitely coming down here with a van to do some camping,
Right to watch, right there.
to see what kind of things we hear in the night down here.
Read our book in the
I don't know
shadow
how far
language.
this dirt road goes, but we're gonna
That
explore
spot.
it.
Right there.
So today we got Bridget's car, so. But the next time I come down here, we will camp here.
And this is all blind area.
Yeah,
Right there at the trailhead. All this is blinds, and it actually looks like something right there too. Already, right
It's hard to
here.
tell because it's so glitchy on his camera.
Yeah. But it looks like, but this is a blind right here at the trailhead.
And remember,
Oh,
wherever you park your car, it's going to be an ambush spot. That's in the book. It's
Yeah.
going to be, they know that you're going to come back to your car.
yep. So expect it.
we're here. Okay, guys, we found the trailhead,
She's busy
but
on
we're
her
gonna hike it
phone.
and see what we find.
She's busy on her
Really thick
phone.
up through here.
Let me turn it down a little bit. Maybe that can too loud so we can talk too. All this ambush over there.
He's worried about bears, but he's not really thinking about these other predators.
There was
This is the kind of stuff I talk about, you guys, when you hike a trail
there's
that is
blind.
thickly forested as this one and others. And there's a lot of dense cover and brush, and you can't really see that far, is when you really, really have to watch for a mother black bear and her cubs, or even a rogue male black bear.
Or Bigfoot,
Or a walking wolf.
any
Or
of
a
the hybrids. Listen to the bird
Bird
language.
language. They just got alerted on.
Well, yesterday, Bridget and I were coming back in her car.
Bridges is
We're
way
going out to
back there.
dinner with a couple friends of mine, George and his wife. The four of us went up to have
With the
dinner.
bait.
And after we said our goodbyes and left, Bridget and I were coming back on Sawmill Run Road.
What happened? He needs to turn around. Oh yeah, look at the brake.
You see that big break right there?
And he needs to be turning around and looking towards Bridget more often.
That's a big
at
break.
all.
That's a big break right there. And he's just walking past it, doesn't even know what that is.
Which is a big state forest, heavily wooded on both sides. And we encountered a small U-Haul truck that was speeding, caught up to us out of nowhere and was tailgating Bridget's car.
Listen to what he's saying.
And the person driving it passed on a double line, blew around us. And just as we were coming to a dead man's curve, a wicked curve that you really have to slow down for, and this guy was flying. And somehow it made it around the bend, and after we went around the bend, the thing was gone. Once we went around the second bend, there was no sight of the truck, because then it was just a straight road going all the way up the mountain, and he wasn't even a mile or two ahead of us, and there was no truck. We didn't see him go into the woods. He didn't roll it over. It just disappeared. And that is the third time now that that's happened to me, where a vehicle was around me and then just abruptly disappeared. I call them fan.
I'm missing, but there was an X back here, and there was a tree break right out here. Let me back it up just a hair. But he's also talking about a van, and we've some of our trackers have noticed the U-Haul vans, because they can rent those and discard them pretty easy anywhere. But they're getting tailed and harassed. Now there's a plane going over. I'm gonna back it up just a hair, but you'll see a break right here, and in the back you're gonna see an X
Going all the way up the mountain, and he wasn't even a mile or two ahead of us, and there was no truck. We didn't see him go into the woods. He didn't roll it over. It just disappeared. And that is the third time now that that's happened to me, where a vehicle was around me
There's
and
that
then
break.
just abruptly disappeared. I call them phantom vehicles. And I've
Sorry
done
about that.
videos on
Right
YouTube
there.
about them before. But now this time I had a witness with me, Bridget. So
He's not looking. Every now and then he'll look straight up the path, but he's not very good about looking left and right, up. He looks down a lot, just where his feet are going. But we would advise him to look high in the trees and every direction. She's
All over.
she's a little better about. She looks a little leery.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out for these side things also.
herself. And as fast as that guy was going, there's no way with a U-Haul truck that's top heavy would get around that wicked curve like he did
Bow in the
and
back.
continue on and be gone so far up the road that by the time we went around it, he wouldn't be within view. There's just no way. Just no way. So don't know how to explain that, but that's the third time now that that's happened. We're going to see what kind of signs we're going to see here in the mud.
You got some horizontal. That's a blind in the back.
Anything could hide in here. It's so
There's
thick.
a bow.
Especially on that creepy, swampy looking lake, which I can't wait to fish. I'm going to come up in here and camp in my van.
Can't wait to fish it. Yeah, there's
That's
all
good.
kinds of
coming,
demons
you
back
guys.
there.
Camping up here in Broken Straw State Forest.
Because it's any area that has broken in the name of it, I would look into the background and maybe not trust the background of where that name was, coming up on a bridge and a bow. But that bridge, any kind of ravine or it's a potential ambush spot. You want to be very careful around those. Be very aware of what you're looking at. That looks like pulled down there.
Yeah, all pulled down there for a blind.
And he's got a curb coming up, so there's a bridge and a curb. Those
Yep.
bends are always going to be.
There's going to be a blind here and a
Trap
blind over
areas.
here. Also on the bridge, if they show you on any time, look for those logs that are laid across, no matter the size of the stick too, laying across big, and we call those bridges because they use them for the animals to cross over.
Those are Bigfoot bridges.
Yeah, Bigfoot bridges.
So we're not talking about just the constructed man-made bridges.
This is man-made.
But all those kinds of bridges are potential.
Yeah, things are underneath
We
them
love
too.
these sticks too much, don't we?
We're gonna break our TV probably.
Boy, this forest is thick.
But this is all a constructed
Can't see that
blind
far.
on here.
Look,
Sits
look,
right there. Pull down over there. Hear the crow.
Second bridge.
Come on, guys. Who is these? Who are these people? There's a bridge.
Yeah, small bridge. It can be for tiny prey too. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Given all
Right
the
there.
rain we've had,
There's
Another
one.
one, second one.
still bone dry. Bone
Let's see
dry.
what's over here. Don't be taking small morsels of dessert with you
That
out
poor
there.
little dog's got to take 45 steps to every 10 of theirs.
This a bow coming up?
Over that hill too is another spot potential spot, not just for an ambush, but for something to be laying across
That's a
the
good-
road.
A lot of skunk cabbage down in here.
There's a bridge. There's a
Yeah,
bridge.
yeah. Oh, look, all of that's potential for predators to
Boy,
lay in.
this is
All
thick,
back
you
in here.
guys. Really, really thick country here.
We call them embankment blinds when they dig into the sides of the creeks and the ravines.
Yeah, it's because we're near the water.
And the translucent
Game
ones
trails.
with this, you'd never see them.
It is thick. Even up underneath the troll under the bridge stories didn't come out of nowhere.
Leaders cause the blind.
Hey, bear.
When it's this thick, they don't even need to have a blind
Yeah.
in the area. Not that they won't, but you got to pay attention to the really thick foliage too.
People walk like this all the time. This is the blind right here.
It's getting a little more thicker up here. We're taking a break. We found a nice rest area right here. Nice fallen tree to sit on. And it is hot.
Right here in the back.
So it's supposed to top off at 90 today with
Right
high
there.
oppressive humidity. And I'm sweating. And the bugs have been flying around, so I sprayed myself with some DEET.
D,
And,
that's
it's
causing
pretty bug in
cancer.
this forest, but it's just so thick with undergrowth.
If we do
and
that, we'll try to
ferns
do it
and
just at our
all
ankles
kinds of
on
greenery
the pants.
that you really can't see that far into the woods at all. Very, very thick forest. And yeah, so we're gonna see what this is in here. Trail seems a little boring, just kind of, you know, meandering up and down and bending around, but there's
Perfect ambush.
nothing really great of as far as scenery goes. I mean, it's just really thick. That's about the only thing that's noticeable in here is dense forest. And that's where you usually see the bear because they like thick cover. So
I don't
we
think
will
you're gonna see a bear
We're
out
gonna take
there.
a short break here, and then we're gonna move on.
Some on the other side of the lake. Yeah, you'd have to watch all those areas where
There's
they
a
just
bow.
stacked up
Yeah.
that foliage when they
Another
cleared that trail
bow.
right there.
Another bow.
They made a blind for the predators.
There's a blind. There's another blind. We're gonna beat our TV up. There's leaners. And these can be used as spears also. That's a structure.
Yeah. Something going on right there. Short bow.
Landscape.
Yeah.
Wait, was that his whistle?
What?
Did he whistle?
And what we say about whistling, whistles, whooping, tree knocking. These guys are doing exactly what we say don't do. And there's other channels that do these things. Even this guy's doing it. So, yeah, you can't be. If the predators don't know you're there, they do know you're there now, for sure.
Another bridge.
There's a bridge right there on the side.
Bigfoot bridge.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Come on,
Underneath that-
people.
I'll
Come
bet you
on,
there's,
people. Right there. There's another
wild
one.
trout in here.
I bet anything can walk across that, ain't it?
All these
Yeah.
little deep holes.
Yeah.
Wild trout are
There's a
very,
blind.
very small, but they're fun to
Embankment
get on
blind.
Embankment blind.
We
Need to
got
go-
another
There's
tower.
another bridge over there.
So peaceful in here.
Oh,
Oh yes, it's awesome to be in the shade. Just awesome.
that looked like a little break.
Oh yeah, there's definitely got to be some wild trout in here. This is
Sure.
I believe this might even be broken straw, the
And
little broken
discoloration.
straw. Regular broken straw, trout stream, and then the little broken straw. And I think this
everything's
is the little
green
broken
except for
straw,
right there.
which is the trout stream. So this is another hike that's got fishing on it. You just have to make your way downstream and just keep fishing on the
That
little
stream
holes.
went through there because there's a bridge.
I was fixing to say, it looks like when water does come through there, it comes through pretty hard.
Yeah.
A second bridge.
There's a bow.
This is a whole little swampy area too back in here normally. And they'll dig deeper underneath those little bridges like that and docks.
It's amazing how different.
Sometimes
All
you'll
these
find a
hikes
tunnel
are
or
from
a
one
cave
another.
under there.
Now you can really see down into the forest. It opens up a little more. Check this out, you guys. A hat
It's like a
hanging
bow.
here on the tree.
A hat.
Hat.
A hat upon the tree. Somebody run out of their hat?
Cleveland Browns.
Everybody
Hope
that
that's not a
goes
mystery
there
hiker.
is gonna stop and take a look at
It's
that
hot,
hat.
it's muggy in these woods. I actually think it's hotter up at this end of the trail,
That was a
and down
beat up
there.
hat.
but it's a long ways back. It seems like we've been walking a long time.
These trees are used as blinds.
Yeah, for
Right
sure.
there, right there.
No, I know it.
The trail cutters need to.
That's a big
chop
bow.
those
That's what
up,
happens when
yeah.
you get
See
older.
that big
You just
bow?
get forgetful. That's what I do all the time. Man, it's a hot one today, guys. Hot hiking.
Well, he said it was gonna
Not
be
many
90
people hiking
degrees.
when
Why
it's
you
90
hiking in
degrees out.
90 degrees?
Yeah,
With
why you pick
oppressive
that day?
humidity. Little too hot today to do an all-day hike.
Yeah,
That tree didn't
But
fall
I got
like that
drinks. I
for
got
sure.
water for the dog. I got
That
a little
one.
bowl.
Look at that one.
Bowl with me. And we
she's
already
falling
ate at the
farther
trailhead.
behind.
How far she
I got
is.
salt.
Bridge is getting
to go.
tired.
We got a cooler back at the car. Okay,
I'm
we're
glad he
coming up to
stopped.
part of the trail where it's getting really thick along the trail again. And
Right there would be a perfect
this is where
spot
you
for
really
him to
gotta
peek
watch.
through.
Yeah. Better not go off the road here.
That is him
There
whistling.
you go. Whistle again.
What
Whistle
are you
again.
doing?
Let them know you're there.
Yes, very, very thick in here.
He's awful out of
A
breath.
lot of berries too. They're not ripe yet, but when these berries, these blackberries, there's blackberries and raspberries in here. And they're on both sides of the trail. And when these are fully ripe all along both sides of this trail, that's when a bear would just come down through here and just gorge itself on berries.
So will the Bigfoot.
And they remember
The big bow over here.
their food sources from year to year, and they return. And so they have areas where they hang out.
Snakes in
And
there
bears are
too. I don't know about in
black
New York,
bears.
but in Texas and
But their radius of their
Oklahoma.
domain
All these little
is 35 miles.
pointed
They
structures.
can cover 35 miles in a circle, and they typically don't ever go outside of that 35-mile range.
Got a big one coming up there.
Wow, it's really thick here, Bridget. Really thick.
nobody's been on this little path
You
in a
can't see a
while.
damn thing. Wow, it's just loaded with berries in here.
There's
Thank
a
God
big
they're
blind
not
right
ripe
here.
now.
Oh, so he's whistling because he's trying
My
to scare
God,
the
this
bears
is about
away.
as thick as Brown's Preserve when I went there, and I
Yeah.
saw that big nest that was made on the ground. It was about 8 feet long and about
There's
4.5
another
feet
bow.
high. Looked
Big
like something
bow right
slept in
there.
it
So you might scare bears
have not
away, but you'll
returned to that
attract
preserve.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
since that hike. Hey, Bear.
Pull down.
Visibility's low here. We're gonna take a break here, you guys. I got my pack off. I'm gonna
Literal
get Gigi
break.
some water. I'm gonna consume some water. And we're gonna take a break because, man, we have been walking a while and we're not reaching no land. So we're gonna have to see where it goes. I carry this collapsible bowl right here for Gigi. And fresh water. Hold on, baby. Hold on.
I would suggest leaving
There
Gigi
you go,
with
baby.
someone for the day when you do hike like
There you
this.
go, sweetie. Good girl.
Yeah,
Good
leave
girl.
Gigi at home.
So
if you gotta move- If you've got to move, or if you're trying to, if you do see a Bigfoot and you're trying to be quiet, most of the time that dog's gonna bark. And that Bigfoot's gonna turn around, or that walking wolf is gonna turn around and look exactly where you're at.
And they just love them little dogs.
And they could use that one, yeah, to lure kids.
Yep.
No, we drove in on Goshen Road. We entered at Weeks. So we started at Weeks. We're heading towards Goshen Road from where we came with the car.
So both of
This trail
them
could
don't
be
know where they're
5
at.
miles in, 10 miles in. I have no idea. But every time I keep looking down the trail, it just keeps going and going.
You can get an
With
app
no
on your
end in
phone that
sight.
tells you how many miles you're going.
Yeah, look how far she's back
Oh,
there.
boy.
That looks
No,
like a
I
tree
don't even
blind
think
coming up.
anybody's hiked this in a hell of a long
And
time.
they're
I
going
haven't seen
up
any
and
tracks in the
down.
mud. I saw one boot print
Uneven ground.
about a mile and a half back, and that's it. But this trail is definitely a lot longer than what all trails are saying.
Oh, this right here is a blind.
So foot cramps are a huge possibility. Here's
This
another
here, you
bridge.
guys, is our 6th bridge crossing. And this trail obviously is miles, many miles long. And it just keeps going through the forest and there's no end in sight. And
Never go
I
in more
think we're
than
gonna have to
halfway
double back
tired.
because we are on a trail
Only halfway.
that just,
I'd say even
we don't know how far it goes.
a third because you're more tired
I mean,
coming
it
out
bends
than you are
around there
going in.
and and we've been walking for almost 3 miles now. So that means it's gonna be 6 by the time we
More
get back to the
breaks.
car. And it just goes up through the forest and it just disappears out of sight. All trails said it was
It's got
one
See
tired
how,
after
can
3
you go back to
miles.
that real quick?
We
When
don't know
you
how
see
far it goes.
everything dead and ugly like this, there's usually going to be Bigfoot in that area. It just tends to be dead.
Yeah.
Not talking about just what's on the ground, but even the standing up trees,
The whole area.
or they're just, these are not friends of the forest. Or leaders.
I mean, it bends around there and it just, and we've been walking for almost 3 miles now. So that means it's gonna be 6 by the time we get back to the car. And it just goes up through the forest and
Couple
it
of
just
grades.
disappears out of sight. All Trails said it was 1.8, which is a short hike. But in and back, it would make for a decent day hike. But now instead of almost a 4-mile trip, we're now into 6 miles because we got to go back the same distance we came in, and we're not even at the end of the trip.
That's a good observation, Q. It's too quiet. It's too quiet for a park like that.
Trail.
Hey,
And
Jazzy.
because there's no
Hey, Holly.
information on the state forest, I don't know how many miles long this trail is, but it could end up being 5 miles long, 8 miles long, 10 miles long. And I'm not doing a 20-mile hike today with it 90 degrees.
If you can, always try to get several different types of maps. Don't just count on an app. If you can get a physical paper map, look at that. You can do Google Earth and try to see as much of the terrain as possible as you can so that you can scout it out ahead of time. Try to talk to people that have actually been on those trails. Try to have more than one source for your information because this trail's much longer than what they thought it was.
And also
They're not
go
prepared.
with someone who can hike. Don't go with someone who you're going to have to carry or pull out. Both be experienced, both know your limits, and only go halfway max and then back.
Much better to take several short hikes
Yeah.
than one long one like this. Up and down like this, they may be having leg cramps and
Yeah.
foot cramps later.
And oppressive humidity, just not happening.
In 90-degree weather.
Got a tree break right behind
On a
him.
cooler day, but there's just no
Another
end to,
quarter.
I mean, it could be just another 1,000 feet away, but what do you think? Do you want to go a little further? Okay. We're gonna keep trucking and see what happens.
Bridget said, don't put it on me.
But I think I think where this trail would end is on, just based on what I know of the lay of this area, is that it would end
That's
on
true, Joyce. They're
Rock
not
Hill Road
prepared at all
and not
for what they're
Goshen.
doing.
Because when we came down Goshen, I did see a trailhead. So that tells me that the only place you could exit this forest would be at Rock Hill Road. And if
Lot
this
of
goes all the
leaders
way
in
to
here.
Rock Hill Road, that's a hell of a long walk. A hell of a long walk. But the woods
And he
keep
has
changing drastically as we hike. We go into dark parts of the forest,
Language,
and we
but-
get in areas where it's really brushy.
Yeah, we don't.
Lots of
We can't
berries,
predict the
tons
language.
and tons of blackberries and raspberries. And now we're getting into another big, dark, old growth forest. I'll turn you guys around so you can see.
Going uphill too.
If you
We'll have to wait till this. We'll skip them.
We can look through the messages real quick.
Okay. We're gonna look through the messages. Maybe I'll just do this until the time. 'Cause I don't want to see commercials either.
Lot of people in the room.
Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna start this.
Okay, we'll do
You hear only one bird or two out there. We got some pull downs over here.
when Jonathan said Hellbent Holler, that's actually the name of the video channel.
On this one?
Earlier. No, he was talking about a couple of other shows. Just letting them know that that's part of the actual name of the show.
Of this show?
No, of the one that in.
Oh, I wasn't watching that.
Very pretty landscape.
And also,
Very deadly.
they have a
country there.
50-yard no
We're
disturbance.
at the
So
top of a steep ravine. And down there is another bridge crossing.
here's another
And then it
bridge
just
right
starts to
here.
go
It's
up
on
the
the
mountain.
Bigfoot Bridge.
Let's go up to the top of that over there on that other ridge. We'll cross down here and we'll get up there and we'll see if we can see through the forest like we can see on this side and see how much
We're gonna
further
have
this
fun
trail
getting up
goes
this hill on
because
the way
Now
back.
this guy thought this was a
this
mile
one is
and a
definitely
half,
a long, long trail.
and he's
much
already went
longer
about
than we
5
thought.
miles. It hasn't turned. There's another bridge. It hasn't turned around.
Be careful on this bridge. It looks kind of rotted. No water in the
There's a
stream.
Bigfoot
Dried
bridge,
up.
2 of
Behind
them.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna bend around and go up here. We are deep, deep in the forest now. We are in the thick of it.
Way past the 1.5 mile marker that
Okay,
they
you
planned.
guys, we're taking a break right here on the trail. And
Busted on your
it's
phone
really
again,
cloudy up,
Bridget.
and there's no end in sight to this trail, you guys. I think
You're
we're
getting
gonna
good
have to call it
reception,
and
though.
turn around.
I don't
We've
think
been
it's
hiking a
live. I
while.
think it's cut.
It's
Oh,
what time is it?
So if they got lost,
3:52, so it's almost 4 o'clock.
they probably don't even have reception.
Yeah, almost 3 miles, and
He looks scared.
there's no end in sight. There's just no, it don't feel like no 3 miles to me.
It's almost
It seems
4
like we've gone
o'clock.
longer than that. I am just soaked with sweat.
I'm
Just
sure
looking
you're
at this, I'm
further
soaked.
than 3
2/3
miles.
of his day is gone. His
I
daylight
don't
hours.
think anything on these photos
Daylight
accurate.
is gone,
But
going.
what doesn't make sense to me is that I've come across this big rotted tree that's got a sign on it that says trail that way. Well, yeah, no shit. We've been walking on the trail. I can see having it
He's gotta
posted
watch
where
his
there's a
language.
trail if you have a junction.
Also,
there's no
pray
junction
before you
here.
go
You're
out.
just passing through. And I got this sign up here that says trail that way. Well, yeah,
He's starting to
on
get
the trail.
nervous.
You can
for
hear it.
quite a while now. And
He's nervous.
I don't know. I don't know, you guys, but this
Right.
one is definitely strange.
You got this
I should have
whole
known that it was gonna be screwy, being that there's
shoot
no
to keep
information
you on that
this
trail.
forest at all, none.
You know, and
But,
another thing
it's
is,
really,
you can't necessarily
really
trust
pumped
that
up.
some jerk didn't come along and just be careful, because sometimes people can move signs and switch signs and put them different directions just to
And
fool you.
know where you're going. Have your, like with our trackers, we have grids, we have locations to meet. We plan our track out. We know where we're going, how far we're going, when to get back. We always have backup on backup on backup. And these people don't have none of that.
It's getting dark in here, but we'll see. We'll assess the situation and we'll be back.
Reality's sinking in.
Okay, guys, we made the call to turn around.
She's,
The trail
where's the
just
dog?
keeps going and going. So I have no idea how long this trail is, but it obviously is many, many more miles than we wanted to hike today in this oppressive heat and humidity.
Who's got the
I am
dog?
sweating like crazy. And we've been stopping and taking breaks, giving the dog water. I've been taking little sips of water to save on it. But yeah, all trails, the app,
Get
can't
your
be trusted
greeners.
at all. I'm gonna have to find a new one. And that's disappointing. But we're gonna make our way back on our 3 miles to the car. And we are gonna be just under 6 miles for today. So that's enough in this heat. So I know when I watched weather this morning, they said the humidity index was gonna be oppressive, and it is, you guys. It's
So why did you
you could cut
go?
it with a knife almost today. So anybody watching this video, if you're into hiking, you may already know this. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but anybody that's new to hiking, anytime that you are on a trail, it doesn't matter where you are. If you are on a new trail that you're
All
not
this?
familiar
Yeah,
with,
all blinds and back.
don't just go off of one map. Don't just go off of one website. Don't go off of just one app.
Such as
You
you
want to
just
make
did.
sure that the trail.
Yeah, he's saying if anybody's been hiking before, don't do this, and he's done exactly
Just
what he
did
said
that.
don't do. One by one map that he didn't even know this trail.
We are glad they made the decision to turn around and head back, though.
Yeah.
Is as long as it is stated on any information that you may look up about the area where you're hiking. And if you can't find the information,
These are all blinds behind him,
Easy ambush areas.
all through here. And when you get to a trailhead and you see a big tree break and a blind at the trailhead, don't take that one because you're going to run into all these.
They're already letting you know.
They're letting you know, and you're going to cross those bridges. You're going to see the Bigfoot bridges. You're going to. I'm not sure if that's anything, but it sure does look like something looking around a corner there. They're not looking for shadows.
I was just fixing point at that one.
They're not looking for shadows or what we call fat trees, you know, trees that are bigger than what they are supposed to be. They're not noticing all these blinds that they're passing that's right next to the trails, right next to the hiking trails. And you're going to find them by the hiking trails. People are food. That hiking trail is a game trail for people. People are game. That's a people game trail.
Not even just for Bigfoots. When you get into some of these forests like this, there's feral people out there. There's rich psychotic hunters.
Like was the case on this trail. And after you hike so far,
Really point that one.
and if you got a feeling that that trail is going to turn out to be like a county trail to where it goes for many, many miles.
Yeah, that's a blind. That's
keep track
pushed
of your
over.
time, keep track of your water supply, know your limits, but also know when to turn around. It's better to turn around and hike
Hear
again
one
another
bird
day
out there.
than it is to
That one bird is making the sound out there, letting them know that they're out here.
keep going and find yourself coming out of the woods after dark. That is something you don't want to
This
do.
is a
Something
blind.
to where you could run out of water,
That's a bow.
run out of snacks,
Came loose, but that's
maybe
a bow.
get dehydrated, get lost, whatever. Or
That's another
put
bow.
yourself at risk of encountering dangerous wild animals by coming out after dark or something like that.
There's another one.
Know when to turn around, know when to call the
That's a
hike.
tree break.
And that's what we did back there about a half a mile back. And we're heading back to the car. Is
Only
because
one
it's so
bird
late
out in
in the
that whole
evening now,
forest?
it's after 4
I don't
o'clock.
think so.
That
Yeah, I haven't seen
we're
the
getting
first
out
squirrel,
while
deer.
we still can. We should reach
No
the car by
food, no
5:30.
wildlife.
And then by the time we get home, it's going to be dinner time. So I'm actually glad we turned around. What I
Big
will do is I
blind.
will research this state forest more in depth, and I'm going through the
Right.
Environmental Conservation Department because they have more accurate information than some of these apps that are just generic and broadly cover all kinds of different state forests and
Well,
state
now you
parks and
know
stuff like
that
that.
was a spooky
Because
lesson
9
for
out
him.
of 10 times usually find
Right.
out that they're not reliable anyway.
And there's a blind,
So,
if you can see it
anyway.
right here.
We're watching
heading back
shadows
and,
back in there, right there.
I'll bring you guys back in a bit. This is why we're not hiked before.
Well,
Big bow,
When you guys saw that
Leaders.
video
leaders.
last year,
It actually looks
when
like
I
an
said
X.
that from time to time I would hike and put rocks in my pack.
Posted sign.
Well,
They
that's
didn't even
get
read it.
myself acclimated to carrying extra weight.
There's
That
a
whole
big
dead
blind.
area, watch
Real
that
big
dead
blind.
area.
I'm carrying Bridget's backpack on me, plus my backpack, and I'm carrying the dog. So to get myself used to carrying extra weight.
Where I didn't see it. Oh, there it is, that big bow right there in the back.
Yeah, he's
not
mad
have
now
to
because he's
worry about
carrying her
lugging her pack out
backpack,
of
his
the-
backpack, and the dog.
Yeah, but you can still see that big bow in the back.
So he's fussing at Bridget now.
Yeah, he's upset at Bridget because he took her out there and he mapped it out and he didn't do his homework. They're walking by blinds and bows, breaks, bridges. This guy would get a lot of people lost or hurt. I don't know who he is.
Woods on a hot, humid day.
Nothing personal,
I'm
guy.
carrying it
Another
forward,
person.
so- But I'm used to taking on extra weight.
That's a
so it's
structure.
not like it's new to me.
That's
And
a
that's
blind,
what I
I
do.
mean,
So
bow. There's another
If you
bow,
hike,
but there's another bow behind
a
him.
lot.
Big blind
Make it a
back
point
there.
sometimes to sacrifice a hike,
A lot
a
of
short
posted
hike,
signs right
to
there.
just load up your pack. with
Tree
rocks.
blind right here.
Because if you
that.
get used to doing that, then when you go to throw your pack on,
Turn
or you
around
carry
and check
extra
on
weight
Bridget,
that's up-
sir.
Right there. That's
She can see you, but you can't see her.
Truth Walker would be going, look at that blind right there. That tree. Well, I mean, it's
She's in here, by the way. She
Oh.
joined too.
all this right here. And he's saying, I'm carrying her pack. I'm carrying the
Getting
dog.
mad. They're getting irritable.
They're getting
They're
tired.
not staying
He's
calm
not,
in their spirit.
he's not watching her.
Mm-mm.
And like we tell everybody, even our candidates, If people are out there with you, they are your responsibility.
He would be called point man.
Yeah. Another bow out there in the background. Lots of shadows, though. Lots of disfigurations out here.
Unexpected along the way.
All that dead
You're
area
used
is
to it.
not good.
So that's why I do that sort of thing. And it doesn't bother me at all. It's all about acclimation.
This is all a blind.
Hold on, pause it, will you? So what he was just bragging about, we were busy talking. He was talking about how he walks with
Back with rock.
rocks in his backpack so that he can build up himself, and that's very, very good. But he's also, I noticed, he's breathing very heavy and very tired. So he may do that, but right now all he's trying to do is be irritating
To Bridget.
to her, to save face for himself, make her look bad. That's not. Even if he doesn't realize he's doing that, he has no reason to be mad at her. She didn't come prepared for this.
She didn't
She
come
probably doesn't even
prepared,
track
get
with him
lost
that
with this
often.
guy.
Gotta watch that.
Yeah, that's that tree blind. I backed it up just a little bit. But I mean, these people are your responsibility. You don't belittle them. You make sure that they're okay and that we're gonna make it out together no matter what.
Yeah, you got to keep your spirit up, period.
Yeah. You're still a team out there.
And especially if you're the leader of that team, you're setting the tone.
Yep. Just say 15 more minutes.
Say thank you, Bridget, for making the decision we needed to turn around and head out.
Yeah. Yeah. She probably was one that said, I'd rather we go back. There's another post, or maybe that's the one that we seen a while ago because I backed it up.
There's been, I think, 4 or 5.
But if you see these things, read them and see what's going on. It may say, don't go off the trail.
Because if you get used to doing that, then when you go to throw your pack on or you carry extra weight that's unexpected along the way.
You do that training at home.
Yeah, you can do that in your yard.
You don't wait
Well,
till
it's
you're
been-
out there trying to weigh yourself down.
90-degree weather, heavy humidity.
You don't do that. You do that at home. Even in the military, they will train with heavy packs, but when we're out on a road march, we don't carry heavy packs. That's just crazy. If you see movies where people are carrying big backpacks out in the forest, military don't do that. Just in the movies.
You're used to it. So that's
He's
why I
been
do that
huffing and
sort of
puffing
thing.
for
He's still huffing and
30
puffing.
minutes, and he ain't that used to
This is that big blind.
And the curve coming up.
Big bow right there.
This would be something to impale prey on if
Land spikes.
if it's run over this way.
Pull
See
down.
another bridge. This is bridge number 5. We have to cross bridge number 6. We got
Well,
4
it's like
more
a-
bridge crossings
I'm
after
not
this.
sure, but it looks like a bow over there.
This whole area is a hunting zone. Pull down right there.
Little pull down right there. I mean, tree break right there. Coming up around the corner.
Those 2 trees leaning towards each other.
This would be a blind because we're going to come around the corner. Looks like they're going this way. But around these corners, one side and one side will have blinds. Large foliage in these areas.
I didn't realize there was 2 back-to-back right here.
So he didn't even notice walking on these 2 bridges before.
He's huffing and puffing.
You talk about how she's out of shape.
There's those bridges again. So they did come through here. There's those same bridges.
But he didn't notice that it was 2 bridges than when he came through the first time. How do you not notice that?
And even with
Especially
the
this one.
trackers, we say familiarize yourself with the terrain. If you got to mark a tree or something, know which way you're going. So if you do get turned around or something, you know where that next mark is so you can find your way out. Use the trees. We talk about that in the tracking course. That's too much right now. But these are ambushers. That's an ambush right there. These are
here
embankment
too.
blinds.
Those are all in the book,
Underneath here, this is a big trap.
in the DVD, in the videos. That'd be a good place to.
Okay, guys, we ran across a gentleman that
Director in the
just
back,
walked
tree
out of
break
the
right
woods.
there.
I don't know where he came from. Must live around here somewhere.
Okay. I'm gonna start this back up. Hope everybody can hear us. But he's getting agitated. He's leaving Bridget behind right
She's
now.
hot and tired. He's hot and tired.
They're both probably agitated.
He could take that hat off and it would cool him off a little better.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So let's see where we're at.
Back at the ambush bridge,
Ambush.
where you can see where it's been sitting right,
Yeah.
where they sit right in there.
Okay, guys, we ran across a gentleman that just walked out of the woods. I don't know where he came from. Must live around here somewhere.
Pause.
Had 3 dogs with him, and 2 of them were.
We teach our trackers. Don't talk to anybody in the woods. Try to avoid talking to anybody in the woods. Don't take any food or drinks from people in the woods. Sometimes that's just a setup. Sometimes it's just danger, okay?
And they
Be very leery of that.
especially if that was just only one person or maybe even one female walking out there.
And you don't know where did he come from. What the heck?
They way out there, they don't know where this guy come from, and they stop and talk to him. And look, he's still leaving Bridget way in the back. He's not
She
watching.
should, instead of trying to carry that, she would do better to tie that around her waist.
Yep. And this is also an ambush area because this is a tree
Easy.
root area. So right here's an ambush area for people coming back this way.
Pit bulls, and I seen the one coming through the underbrush, and I saw movement. Wasn't sure what it was at first.
Ambush
Found a
areas.
trail, I saw they were pit bulls, but he said they're friendly. That's another reason why you carry bear spray, because you can encounter somebody's loose dogs that could be potentially vicious. So bear spray isn't just for bears.
Ambush.
Get you a
I asked him
taser
how
or
long
a
this trail is. Now, I
sidearm.
believe he told me what the length of the trail is in its entirety. Meaning, as it passes through this state forest, goes into the next state forest and beyond. But he said this trail we're on is 18 miles long. That would explain why on all trails it said 1.8. They had a decimal between the 1 and the 8, showing that it was just under 2 miles. It's not. This is an 18-mile trail one way from one end to the other.
Bridget is
So
too
that's
far
why it
back.
goes to show
A
you, if
map
you don't
should have
accurate
shown
information.
them that.
How, if
If
you
he would have
get that
read
wind
and
to
got
turn
a
around,
map,
you could
would
easily
have
get
showed
yourself much deeper in a
Google
forest
it.
than
He
you want to
hasn't
go
looked
and
at
get
her.
into trouble real quick. So you have to
and
know
these
when to
creatures
call
move
it.
fast.
and
They can
say,
take her without him
Information
even
is
hearing.
incorrect.
No,
This
never
trail
even-
is much
They
longer
like taking that
than
one at
This-
the end.
These are all
map says,
ambush
or
areas.
website or whatever.
Right
Especially
back
if you're not
there.
familiar with it, like we're not. I've never hiked this before. It's the first time
She's
either of us have been in
nervous.
here. And that was the case we encountered today. The information was incorrect. Instead of 1.8, it's 18
Put that rag
miles.
in the back of
So
your
it's a good
pants.
thing we turned around when we did.
Tie
So
it.
by the time we get back to the
Tie it
car,
on
we're
your
putting in
waist
a
and
6-mile
go.
hike. And that's enough on a 90-degree day with high humidity. So anyway,
Yes.
we wanted to do a shorter
Long
hike than
time
that just
ago.
for today because it is so hot. But we put in a little more than anticipated, and that's fine. It's a good test to see how you treat
Don't
a
listen.
situation
Yeah.
when information
And you don't listen
is
to
not
yourself.
accurate. So made the right call, turn around and double back, because we would have been following this for hours. We would have never reached the end.
Even
we could
little things
potentially
like
been
this
trapped
add
in
up
here
in weight when you carry
overnight,
too
Overnight.
much.
and that's why
Don't be carrying
you
all
carry
this.
a flashlight
Jingling.
and a means of self-defense and an emergency fire starter in case you had to get a fire going and do a bushcraft camp.
If
out
you
for the
get
night.
lost, yes.
And
If you don't know where you're
yourself all the way
going,
to
if
the
you don't
morning.
plan it out,
if you don't want to
yes.
hike in the dark. So that
That's
is going to
all.
show you.
These are all
You've got to make
blinds.
sure that information is
Right
correct
there on
when
the
you're relying
trail.
on it. And all trails is not
Bridget
reliable.
is still
So anyway,
way
we're just
back
gonna keep
here.
on
There's
hiking,
something
heading
in
back
that look
towards the
like an
car.
X. If there's
Yeah.
something
And,
in those
pacing ourselves.
blinds, there's a boat.
And it is very hot, very humid. I'm very sweaty. We're both
All
very
those
tired.
years.
Looking forward to getting back to the car.
Pull
And,
down right there.
We'll update you guys. We're taking a pit stop right here. We're taking a rest. Letting Bridget rest and the dog.
Letting Bridget rest.
And
He panted.
we were way back
Yeah.
in there.
While panting.
And we're soon going to be to the car. We got under a mile to go. Under a mile. And then we'll be back to the car. But I'm stoked that there is.
That's an ambush.
Up on the
Right there in
forestry
the corner.
road. And there's at least 4 or 5 free camping spots up in there that you can use and park with a vehicle and get a fire going.
That he
And
can
so I'm
drive
looking
to,
forward
thank
camping in
God,
this
he
forest,
said.
doing a night over in it,
Yeah.
and seeing if I hear any screams at night or any type of weird sounds or
Lucky you didn't hear any
any
screams
whoops or
right
anything
there.
like
I know.
that. So I'm
That's
looking
an
forward to
ambush
getting out
right
and spending
behind
night in
you.
these woods in my van. And we'll see how that goes. I want to be more down by that swampy lake
Sure you do.
because I think if
There's
anybody's
an
gonna
ambush
start
right behind
finding
you.
people,
He
it
wants
could
to,
be down around
he
that,
wants
so.
to park in that.
And I'll be doing a video of camping there too. And but right now we're gonna just
Set
make
up
our way out of these woods
campsite.
and have some drinks,
Don't say
get
hope for
rested,
the best.
enjoy the AC in the car, and go from there. So got a little bit of a ways to go, a little under a mile.
Be careful when you get overheated about getting right there into the cold or chugging a cold drink because both can drop you like a stone.
This says this is when we encountered something unknown just off trail. Audio is enhanced for clearer sound. So something's about to happen.
What the hell is that? Something's growing.
Something's growling.
Something's growing. You guys, there's something growling at us.
You look
Get
scared.
the dog picked up. There's something.
Hold
There's
the
something
bait,
as we're
Bridget.
making our way back to the car.
Well, I tell you, he says, when he says get the dog, she walks around. She's done got the dog. She's done grabbed it and
Something is growling at us. Did you hear that?
Yeah, she heard it.
wait. Also, that growl gave Bridget energy.
Yeah, Bridget's got some pep in her step now.
She done got the dog. She done walked around
That
him.
dog jumped in Bridget's arms.
She walked around him. She's in front of him. He's looking for her back there. She's in front of him.
Yeah, she's been half a mile behind him though.
He turns around and says, where's she at? She's already on this side. Heading down the path.
Something's growing.
When he says get the dogs.
Something's growing. You guys, there's something growling at us. Get the dog picked up. There's something.
She's already got the dog.
Something as we're making our way back to
She's
the
in the
car.
car.
She's in front now. She says, see ya.
It looked like too, she just put her phone in her pocket.
joking,
So
you
she had
guys.
her phone out again.
Did you see whenever he said, did you hear that? He has to look in front of him. He said, did you hear that? She's already down the trail. She's like, yeah, I heard that.
You guys, there's something growling at us.
She goes,
Get the dog picked up. There's
got
something.
him. She said, I got him.
There's something as we're making our way back to the car.
There's a little trail going off that
Bridget's gone.
Something is growling at us.
way. Right
Did you
there at
hear that?
another little.
He said, did you hear that? She's
That's
already
okay,
way up
guys.
here.
It is a deep growl. Keep walking. Keep walking.
Oh,
She's
don't
in-
worry, she's in.
She's in front of him.
Holy shit.
Look at them boom.
Bows
I've got the
blind.
can
Watch
in
your
my
mouth,
hand
sir.
right now.
There's no such thing as holy what you said.
Yeah.
That was a deep growl, wasn't it? We both stopped and it was just going growling at us.
Well, now it's gonna think you're growling back at it.
Big blind.
Holy shit.
Big
I never
blind.
heard that
Watch your
noise
mouth.
ever before.
Bows.
That was creepy.
Where's Bridget? She's not way back here no
You
more.
notice where they're hearing the growling, they're getting back close to the car.
That's what they say, honey. I can't help
Yeah.
it. That's what they say.
There's Bridget. She's booking it. Bridget's like, I'll leave you. I will leave you. You put that phone down.
Definitely a creature.
Got a witness. She heard it herself. She did what I told her to do, that if we encounter something, to immediately pick up
Bet
the
she
dog.
did. You didn't have her
And I
body
pulled
did
this
it.
right out of its holster.
She was gone.
We
She's
stopped
still
and
gone.
Listening to the silence. And
She
it
ain't
was
waiting on
growling.
you.
Holy crap.
is
I
good that they
never
talked
in my
about that
life ever heard that
beforehand,
on a
though.
trail. Ever. Okay, you guys. We are gonna make it in fast time, walking fast, and get back to the car. And I'm gonna keep watching
That
behind us.
adrenaline and get you pumping.
Where's Bridget?
What did that sound like to you?
She said, I'll tell you in the car. She said, I'll tell you in the car. I'll tell you in the car. Let's roll.
Oh, I don't like seeing that fear in their eyes.
Yeah, that was a scared face. She's
Something
almost
was definitely
running.
growling at us, you guys. No joke. I'm
Big
not
bow
joking.
right
This
there.
is not-
Overheated.
This is not being funny for a
Yeah.
YouTube video.
She's leading
Crazy.
now.
That was a true blue freaking.
Look at this
something was
structure right
growling at us
here.
in the woods. And it was not a
And he's
bear.
not even knowing what he's looking at.
He's
It
not even
was-
knowing
it
where
was
he's
a
at.
deep- A deep growl. I have never,
These are, look at that big
I have
bow.
never ever heard that in the
Structures.
woods before. All right, we're gonna just keep hiking out of here and get back to the car, you guys. Be back. Thank God, you guys. We're at the end of the trail. Home.
So that growl,
They're at their ambush area where they're hearing.
yeah, that creature knew they was coming back to the car,
Yeah.
and that was a growl trying to get them to run or get into a spike or into a trap. And there'll be other ones out there. It's not over. I mean, no matter what happens.
My God, I don't know what that was that growled at us, you guys, but I have never in my life.
Look at that blind right there at the
ever
trailhead.
before hiking in any forest anywhere.
And I get the
Whether in
impression
New
he's
York or
heard bear
Pennsylvania, I've
before.
never heard something growl quite like that. So I'm gonna take these packs off, get Gigi some water, and we're gonna get
Another
some
blind
fresh
way over
drinks
there
out
in the
of
back.
cooler. She heard it. Bridget heard it herself. That was
I don't like that
definitely
mess.
a growl, man, and that was not a bear, you guys. I have no idea what that was.
I would say don't sit there in that car.
Oh my
Look at
God.
this. It's all
about it.
blind.
Okay.
They should have noticed that when they went in. They should scoot on down the road, and then they can discuss it and get their drinks and all that in a minute after they leave that area.
All right, we're going to turn this back around. I don't know if we're gonna have time for another one.
I don't know.
The
What
one
time
that
is it?
the Joyce, the one that was sent in. We're gonna have to. Let me turn this around real fast for
It's
you.
9:19. It's been 2 hours.
It's up to you if you want to. But let's just talk about. Okay, so these people don't know what they're doing, where they're going.
Not in regards to Bigfoot.
They have no clue of the danger that he put his friend in.
Or wife, maybe.
Could be a wife, but the way he was talking about her, it didn't sound like they were husband and wife. They may be, I don't know. Maybe that's just the way he talks to his wife, if it is. But if you don't know the signs and you don't know where you're going, don't go. Map everything out, especially if it's going to be a hike. Know the area, like our trackers, even though our candidates, we map our grids out. We know our locations, our drop point, our starting point. We know how long we're going to be out there, what we're doing. And we only go halfway. We want to make sure we're still strong coming back. You don't want to be tired out there, dehydrated. But when you don't know what you're looking at and the signs that are there, you're going to do like these people did and just walk out there thinking it's a regular trail, a regular hike for that day. But these people were walking right into all the signs, the structures, the bows, the bridges, not just a regular man-made bridge, but the Bigfoot bridges. Even with the trackers, that's our sign right there. That means that there's a Bigfoot bridge right there. But once they heard the sign, they were gone. I mean, once they heard the growl, they were gone. Bridget was way behind that entire time until that happened. Then she was up in front, leading, ready to get out of there, and you could see the look in her face. The main guy, EKE Acres, it looks like. And this is from a year ago. We just seen this just today, and we was like, well, let's just.
And we're not picking on him. He could have been anybody.
Yeah, and this is anybody. This is 99% of the people out there who are not trained. Even the military know these signs. They're not trained.
Like
Right.
Bernard says, as soon as I'm financially able, I'll definitely need a copy of the tracker book. So he'll be getting one. He's just been out of work a long time.
Are we? I don't know if we're back on.
Are we live? We're catching up on messages.
Well, don't say. Look. Let me.
Yeah, we're in. We're in.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
y'all hear us? We're catching up on messages.
Yeah, but it started. Comments.
Bernard, that's great. You're gonna.
Oh, okay. There we are. There we are.
Tracker, yeah, watch. I don't know if is his name Eek? Channel from time to time. I agree his illnesses may be related. Should I say we're gonna go ahead and log off?
Are you on? You have to turn yours off.
Oh,
Okay, give us a second.
it's off.
Okay. How we doing? I'm gonna have to kick this. Hope this is the right one.